glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people. And this is my land. This is my land. This is what we pray for. And this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country. This is who I am. This is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. Mine. You better believe it, 'cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance. You see the devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, so I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country. This is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house.
I got a baby girl inside this house, and right now she's sound asleep. So it's probably best for the both of us if you just turn around and leave. 'Cause if you come in this fucking house, then you too gonna go to sleep. I promise you, boy, don't play with me. I pray to God my soul to keep. Especially this day and age, gotta handle shit our own way. With a 30-30 or 12 gauge behind this door, you're hella weight. My old lady, she rides too, picking up every shell case, mopping up these blood stains, but she ain't seen a damn thing. Most of my people are convicts, hard-headed, no nonsense. So please approach with caution. You never know who's watching. You never know what's on the other side of that front door, and you knocking. Might step out like motherfuckers get to dropping. All the neighbors heard was the dogs barking. The sun was down, it was getting dark, and I told the sheriff it ain't no problems, man. I was just taking out the garbage. So if you don't mind, please excuse me. I'm with the family trying to watch a movie. I'm sure you got better things to do, so I'll let you go and get back to do
it. And now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad my house. Welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country. This is who I am. This is who I am. So welcome to my house. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UltimateDirtTV. Tonight on the program, it is Championship Night here for the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop UMP Modified Summer Sizzle, presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Alex Robinson and a special guest in the booth here this evening, Chris Ferguson. Alex, we'll start with you. Welcome to the Dirt Track at Charlotte. Welcome to Championship Night.
Championship night, and there's only one thing that is confirmed right now is a CFM Esports driver is going to become points champion here tonight. But the real question is which one? Evan C., Blake Matjoulis coming in 7-point difference. Who is going to take home the points championship tonight? Right,
well, here we go. It's a straight-up question for Chris Ferguson. Chris, first of all, welcome to UltimateDirtTV. Of course, we had you on a couple of weeks ago at the end of round number 5. Who would you pick to win the championship here tonight, Evan C. or Blake Matjoulis?
Oh man, you guys are loving to put me on the spot already. But truth be told, I'm not gonna pick either one of them because they're both my drivers. I just hope they put on a good show tonight, and I'm hoping one of the two can get it done. But there's a lot of hungry drivers out there.
Well, we'll get qualifying on the program at the moment. So what we'll do, we'll bring up the qualifying results on the left-hand side of your screen, so you can just find out who is starting to go where, as Evan C. stops the time with a 15.849. We're still yet to see Blake Matjoulis hit the racetrack, but no doubt he will be towards the front of the field. But Alex, this is our 6th week in 7 weeks. It is, of course, we had last week off, but the 6th round of the series, and boy, we've seen some fantastic racing pretty much since round 1 of the series. You know what you're going to get from these drivers. You know what to expect when it comes to the feature event time. We'll see a slickened off racetrack before or at the end of the consolation race, before we get into the warm-up and just before the main event. I have no doubt it is going to be the same this week. Yet again, you'll see a track reset, which will make the track just a little bit juicier at the start of the main event. But then when it comes to the end of the main event, that's when you're going to have the best racing put on.
Oh, absolutely. And we went to some of the tougher tracks. Cedar Lake, known for being a technical track. We've known that you don't like that track, but they proved otherwise that track can become racy very quickly. We went to Knoxville, phenomenal racing. Eldora, everywhere else in between, it's been great racing. Now we come to the dirt track at Charlotte, and the real question is, look at the top of the list right now. Blake Matjoulis in 9th in qualifying here. Felix Roy 2nd. So, does Evan C. have his number early on tonight?
Well, there's a very good chance that Evan C. will have his number. But before we get into, of course, the qualifying results, Alex, you had one very important question to ask Chris Ferguson. I'm going to allow you to have that opportunity right now to ask him that question.
Oh, yes. A lot of people have seen the pictures. A lot of people have seen videos. But I'm going to ask you, being there in attendance, how was it listening to Scott Bloomquist singing?
Man, that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. It was a blast, and I was just happy to be a part of it. I kind of stood in the background and listened for the most part, and I've never heard anyone rock out to a country song with Kevin Dedman like Sky has.
All right, we got qualifying results on your screen right now. Evan C for Victory Lane Racing starts off the night with quick time with a 15.849. 4 heat races on the programs. Felix Roy, Brent Carter, Zach McSwain, and Alex Bergeron will be your top 5. Barrett Bishop, Dylan Yeager, Jay Place, Blake Majoulis, and Dustin Mombaquet in 10th position. Let's take a look. Heat race number 1, your lineup will look like this, and what a field this is. Evan C to start from pole position. He's outside for Team ABR Esports. It's the 12 of Alex Bergeron.
Row number 2, the 127, it's Blake Majoulis. To the outside, the 46 of Matthew Selby.
CJ Howell will pilot car number 2 from position at number 5, and Dustin Hall for Slick Sim Sports drives a 331 from position at number 6.
The B32 of BJ Duval will start in the 7th spot. To the outside, it's the 777 of Jack Ritz, and rounding out the field, the 29, it's Richie Yost.
Chris, when we talk about championship opportunities for these drivers between Blake Majoulis and Evan C, they find themselves in the same heat race. How tough do you think it would be right now for both these drivers, knowing that it comes down to what's going to happen later on in the main event, but it all starts right here in the heat race?
Yeah, this is going to be a moneymaker here. I really think that the heats are a big deal, and truth be told, this looks like a main event. The top 3, those 3 guys are the guys that's been the ones to beat this year, so really excited about this. I think that Blake's got to get up on the wheel if he wants any chance at winning, so I think the fans are in for a treat. Heat 1.
Certainly are. Heat number 1 on the racetrack. The Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop UMP Summer Sizzle presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports. It is championship night here at the dirt track at Charlotte. We're set for a start, this time by Evan C. Picks up the loud pedal. We are underway. Championship night is underway here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Well, I mean, that's done some laps around here, and a late model himself, Blake Majoulis. He's now looking to the inside there, and Alex Bergeron. Evan C. will lead down the back straightaway. Bergeron, Majoulis goes side by side. Selby runs in 4th. Dustin Hall rounds out your top 5 at lap number 1. Well, no surprise to see Evan C. take the race lead.
You have Alex Bergeron in that 2nd spot, the 12 machine. In between your top 2 in points at 33, the 127. They're sitting 1 and 3 right now. They're all looking to make the show here. But Blake Majoulis, this will be a costly start to the night, as he will have to move through that field if he sticks in this 3rd spot.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be difficult right now for Blake Majoulis if he wants to have a shot at the championship later on tonight. He was good in the opening 2 weeks, but the last 3 rounds of the series, it has all been Evan C. in that number 33 machine. Now Bergeron to the middle of the racetrack. Blake Majoulis looks to slide up. Chris, if you're Blake Majoulis right now, how hard are you trying to get by Alex Bergeron to try and put that pressure on Evan C., knowing that there's only 8 short laps? Oh, contact.
Ooh, I think Blake just made the move that kind of had to get him in position, but I'm not sure what happened there. His right rear hooked his left front, so I don't know. It looked like a little bit of contact. I think he's doing what he has to do to maybe have a shot at winning the points.
As we take a look here at your UltimateDirtTV instant replay, not quite clear of that number 12 machine, and Bergeron goes around. Probably could be a costly mistake, and possibly a mistake that may even cost himself a championship as well. But we'll see what race control does here on this one. But again, that is out of our hands. Of course, Stephen Calavoda doing the race control and done it all season long. Oh, hang on, you're about to see something flash by your screen here a second. There we go. Don't know why.
How do you feel about that, Alex?
No, I'm not surprised. Championship night, animosity big here, and you have to make the move, especially when it comes down to it. Blake needs a win to guarantee a lockup for the points championship tonight. So you got to make the moves early here, because if you finish 3rd in this heat race, you got a lot of competition you got to pass for that feature event.
Hey, just noticing too on the timing scoring as well, Blake Majoulis says out of the event. Now, generally when it means out of the event, not meaning he's back on pit road. If he was back on pit road, it would have said back to pit. He has exited the iRacing session. Whether he had been given the penalty for that one, or whether he's had some sort of internet dramas. There was a lot probably going on at his household, and had he been given the penalty, now we don't know at this stage whether he was given the penalty, but if he has, he would be absolutely fumed, because again, that could have just cost himself, could have cost him a potential championship. But moving on from that, 5 down, 3 to run, this time by Evan C. Matthew Selby, Dustin Hall, now your new 1, 2, and 3. CJ Howe, Richie Yost, and PJ Duvall. That's your top 6. Jack Reed's 7th. Alex Bergeron's gone back to pit road, so you see Matjoulis-Seay and Bergeron both out of heat race number 1. Alex, this time by, we've got 2 to run.
And you see right here Matthew Selby, Dustin Hall going at it side by side. You see behind them there Richie Yost, CJ Howe, BJ Duvall. It's championship night. Those guys have had some tough runs this season. Look for them to make a move here to make it into a transfer spot. But Dustin Hall makes a slide job for the second spot. Side by side they go. Selby Hall. That's your battle for second.
Now the white flag is out, 1 to run right now for Evan C. He's had it all his way so far. He's picked up the quick time awards here. Now going to pick up a heat race victory here at the Dirt Track at Charlotte Championship. No, there's a good battle on for second and third. Evan C will win heat race number 1. Second, we'll go to Matthew Selby. Third at the line will be Dustin Hall. Those results, of course, unofficial. We'll now make it official right now. There is Evan C, Matthew Selby, and Dustin Hall, your top 3. Richie Yost, BJ Duvall round out your top 5. CJ Howe, Jack Reitz, Blake Matjoulis, and Alex Bergeron, the 9 drivers. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. And I can confirm that Blake Matjoulis was in fact given an EOL, and he has opted to leave this. So whether he comes back, we certainly hope that he does, to contest the championship race or go through the consolation race. But heat number 2, Felix Roy starts from position number 1. He's outside. It's the 3 of Barrett Bishop, position number 2.
Starting in row number 2, starting on the inside, it's the 16. That's Dustin Momberket to the outside, the 6 of Austin Hunter.
Kevin Williamson will pilot car 5 from position number 5 to his outside. Car number 2, position 6, that is Dylan Hauser.
Aiden Beerline in the 13A. He will start in the 7th spot to the outside from Texas, the 23. It's Tyler Knight and Damian Kiefer in the 0. Will round out heat race number 2, starting grid.
Chris, you've seen most of the rounds this season. What would who would you pick here to win heat race number 2, and what are you going to expect from this racetrack as well?
I definitely think Felix Roy's probably going to take this one. He's been a little inconsistent, but he has been fast, and I think starting up front's a big advantage here in the heat races with the track still pretty fast. So, but there's been a couple sliders, so you never know. I think he's going to take it though.
All right, here we go. Heat number 2 here of the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop UMP Modified Summer Sizzle, presented by CFM Esports and Victory Lane Racing. Felix Roy gets on the loud pedal. We're underway. Heat number 2. Barrett Bishop got a good start. Meanwhile, Momberket and Austin Hunter, they'll go side by side along with Kevin Williamson, Dylan Hauser. They run side by side, so 2 by 2. Down into turn number 3 and 4. We complete lap number 1. Felix Roy will lead it. And then now look at Austin Hunter. Takes over position 3. Here comes that 2 machine of Dylan Hauser. He's very quick in a UMP Modified, Alex.
Dylan Hauser has a lot of history to his belt, but a lot of contact there. Dylan Hauser, Austin Hunter, both into the wall hard. Caution flag is out. And now, going to add a little bit of drama here, because that's 2 quick cars. Both cars who have made the feature a decent handful of times this season have some major damage. Here's your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. And we're going to see it from the back there. There's Hunter. And Hunter going to get into the 13A and then gets sideways there with the 23. So a few cars getting involved in this caution early on in heat race number 2.
Well, what do you make of this one, Chris?
Well, I think it's Hauser in the 2. He definitely was making moves there, but I don't think he realized there was a car on the outside of him, so he kind of came up into Austin Hunter there, and I think Austin got the raw end of the deal.
Well, our second caution in our second heat race of the night, and as Alex just sort of alluded to as well, we've had 2 quick cautions so far in the early goings. Alex, generally when we see something like this, where we see a couple of cautions early on in the night, it actually makes for the rest of the night better, because we generally don't see too many cautions throughout the rest of the night if we have those quick early cautions. It's one of those things, you know, you've got to take the good with the bad, and so far, I mean, not that they've been bad incidences, it's just a very tight quarters racing here on a night that is that is going to be filled with drama because it's championship night.
And yeah, the animosity in the heat races, everyone wants to make it from a heat race to the feature. And Chris Ferguson, we're going to ask you, because you're the pro here, what do you think? How much easier is it to sit back and relax after a heat race if you qualify for the feature event than preparing for a B main?
Yeah, you definitely don't feel the pressure of the B main. The B main's always big because you know that if you don't make it in this time, you don't have another shot. So it's definitely easy to be able to watch the B mains. It's a lot less pressure, and also you don't have to worry about, oh no, this is not good for the leaders.
Well, there we go. We got Felix Roy, who's now back in position number 7. Dylan Hauser, he's back on pit road. Meanwhile, we've got Austin Hunter, your new race leader. How about Damien Kiefer from position number 9, Alex? He's up to 2nd. He's looking to go from 0 to hero in a matter of 8 laps. We're about to be 5 down with 3 to run, and if anyone can pull this off, it's certainly going to be Damien Kiefer. He'll now look to the inside here on Austin Hunter, but Austin Hunter, he's got to have a fair bit of experience right now, but mainly might be a bit inexperienced leading up towards the front of the field.
And you have that zero machine to pull off a slider there. Damien Kiefer now side by side. Austin Hunter to the inside. Slide job for your race lead. Austin Hunter, Damien Kiefer. But don't forget, Barrett Bishop right there behind him in striking distance in a 3-car battle for your race lead.
Oh, lap and a half to run for Damien Kiefer from the back to the front. Starter position number 9. He's up into position number 1. The white flag will come out. Heat race number 2. We are 4 turns away from finding out who will start on the outside of the front row along with Evan C. And it's going to be a very high possibility. He's just going to make these final 2 left-hand turns into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4. Damien Kiefer will win heat race number 2. Second at the line is going to be Barrett Bishop. He just edges out Austin Hunter there for positions 2 and 3. And that is heat number 2. Alex, let's take a look at your results on screen.
There it is. Damien Kiefer takes home heat race number 2 win. Barrett Bishop, Austin Hunter going on to the feature event as well for Mombercat, Roy, Beerline, Knight, Williamson, and Hauser. They will go on to consolation action later on tonight.
Well, let's take a look at heat race number 3. Your starting grid. Brent Carter for Team Victory Lane Racing will start alongside his teammate Dylan Yeager in the 48 machine from position at number 2.
Starting in the 3rd spot, it's the 07 Weaver Fever in full effect for Howard Weaver. To the outside, the 32, it's Daniel Powell.
Cole Cabrera lines up the 71 machine from position at number 5. To his outside, Colby Horner lines up at a position number 6.
The 97 of Rocky Battenfield will start in the 7th spot. To the outside, the 42, it's Hunter Butts. And rounding out the field, Slam Sim Sports 28, Mason Lobb.
Chris, what have you made of the opening first 2 heat races so far?
They were definitely unexpected. I didn't see that happening to Felix Roy and Blake Matjoulis, so I think everybody's in for a treat. It's definitely been – there's been a lot of hard racing, so I think Charlotte always puts on a show for everybody. I bet the Team VLR chat's pretty wild right now with about 5 of those guys being in the same heat race.
All right, well, let's see what happens here in our penultimate heat race of the night. Again, 4 heat races on the program here for championship night. We'll have a couple of B mains. I believe we'll be taking, I think we're taking the top 3 from memory from the heat race, so therefore that'll lock in 12 cars from heat races, and then of course we'll take probably the top 6 from B mains at 1 and 2, give us a 24 car field for your main event here or later on this evening. The Salina Truck Stop number 69 machine of Brent Carter going to lead us to the green flag. Keep an eye on Dylan Yeager and Howard River. The VLR guys, they start 1, 2, and 3. Keep an eye on Rocky Battenfield. He's in with the VLR guys as well, but Cole Cabrera tries the inside. But meanwhile, Weaver and Yeager, they go side by side. Weaver going to stick to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll drift up, going to leave a lane up on the top side for Dylan Yeager. And Dylan Yeager takes back second at the start-finish line. Meanwhile, Brent Carter will lead lap number 1.
And here's a battle of seasoned veteran versus a young buck here in that battle for second. Howard Weaver, he's been around here for a while. He's known our way around the dirt track at Charlotte. Dylan Yeager as well, though. But he is one of those young bucks in the field here who looks to make a name for himself every night at the racetrack, and he's in that 3rd spot.
Well, Brent Carter in the 69 machine continues to lead the way here in heat number 3. 3 is in the books, 5 to go. Meanwhile, you got Cabrera and Mason Lobb They battle it out side by side for positions 4 and 5 for better starting spots in the B mains. Cabray on the outside. Mason Lobb, who again, he started position number 9, trying to replicate what Damien Kiefer did in the last heat race. Now Jaeger, he ducks down to the inside there on Weaver, trying to make the move, but couldn't quite make it happen. And Howard Weaver fends off Dylan Jaeger down into turn number 1 and 2, Alex.
Heat race number 3, and it's VLR 1, 2, 3. Brent Carter, Howard Weaver, Dylan Jaeger right now, as Howard Weaver sitting comfortable now in that second spot. Dylan Jaeger going to hold off in the third spot. Cole Cabray, Mason Lobb, those two going at it for your 4th spot, though.
Yeah, Cabray to the outside on Mason Lobb down the back straight. We come to 2 laps left to run here in heat number 3. Brent Carter continues to lead the way from Howard Weaver. Dylan Jaeger 1, 2, and 3, all for Victory Lane Racing. Cole Cabray runs the 71 machine for D1RT in 4th. Mason Lobb, Colby Horner, Daniel Powell, Rocky Battenfield, and Hunt Demands. Uneventful heat race when it comes to yellows. White flag is out. Alex, final lap is upon us.
Brent Carter, he is leading into turn 1 and 2, the 69 machine for VLR. Battle for second again between Howard Weaver, Dylan Jaeger, the 07 and the 48 go at it one more time into turn 3 and 4. Jaeger trying to make one more move, but the 69, Brent Carter, takes home heat race number 3. Howard Weaver, Dylan Jaeger, your top 3, all VLR.
Oh, there we go. That was probably expected to see the VLR guys run 1, 2, and 3. I think they had about 400 cars in that heat race. But that is heat number 3 wrapped up. We'll take a look here at your official results here in a moment. But before we do take a look at those results, Chris, we've obviously, people want to go out and buy some of the merchandise. We've got the merchandise up on the screen right now. Where can people get that from?
CFMesports.com. Just, shout out to Blake and Evan. They've done a great job with the setups and also with all the merchandise, and we appreciate all the customers we've had, and we look forward to sponsoring more of the events on UDTV and also with Team VLR, and we plan on putting the money back into iRacing.
All right, there you go. So check out CFMesports.com. Heat number 3 results on your screen. Brent Carter, Howard Weaver, and Dylan Jaeger. The top 3 that will move into the main event directly. Everybody else to the B mains. One of 2 B mains. Cole Cabray, Mason Lobb, Colby Horner, Rocky Battenfield, Hunter Butts, and Daniel Powell. 4th and final heat race of the night, Alex. Let's take a look at Zach McSwain and Jay Place. The 26 and 16 starts positions number 1 and 2.
Row number 3, the 93, it's Zane Yost. To the outside, the 144, it's Brent New.
Logan Rumsey for Slick Sim Sports past the 41 from 5, and he's outside for D1RT Racing. It's the 5 of Scooter Bike, position number 6.
Starting 7th, it's the 1 machine, that's Alex McCullum, and rounding out the field in the 51, Momentum Sim Sports, Dixon Slinger.
Chris, how are you seeing the track develop here tonight? Because generally by the time we get to this part of the night, the track is getting somewhat slicker. How are you seeing the racetrack develop at the moment?
Man, the dirt track of Charlotte never disappoints, but the last heat race there, they started moving up towards the top. So I think once that top wears out, we're going to have racing all over this place. But I think right now the top's just a little bit fast, and you can see there's some crumbs up there. So them guys are they're still holding on up there.
All right, here we go. 4th and final heat race of the night. The last heat race of the season for the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle, presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports. Alex, I'm going to let you... You know what? I'm not even going to give it to Alex. Chris, I'm going to throw you under the bus here. How about you lead us to the green flag for the start of the final heat race of the season?
Sounds like a plan. We got Zach McSwain out here. Jay Place actually on the outside pole. Zach McSwain gets a great start going down the front stretch into turn 1. I believe Jay Place is going to try to get a little bit of a redemption for that last race at Knoxville, so he's ripping the top right now, and here he comes. He's got a heck of a run, throwing the slider on Zach McSwain.
Yeah, keep an eye on Zane Joseph on the 93.3 wide for the race lead. Zach McSwain will lead. Lap number 1, Jay Place was good a couple of weeks ago at the Knoxville Raceway. Alex, tell you what, Jay Place, he looks like he's got his game face on. He's ready to roll here into turns 3 and 4. New race leader, Jay Place, takes it away from Zach McSwain.
And Jay Place right now, if he takes home this heat race number 4 win, VLR will take 3 out of the 4 heat races. But Zane Yost, he is trying to not make that happen here. The 93, the 25 of Zach McSwain also right there in the mix. That battle for the lead, Zane Yost, Jay Place, here we go. Side by side, it's still going to be Jay Place at the line.
Oh, Jay Place continues to lead the way from Zane Yost, again continuing to roll the bottom. So Alex McCullum, Logan Rumsey having a great battle there with Brent New. They were 3 wide down into turn number 3. Boy, oh boy, they're 3 wide again as they come off turn number 4. They're 1 by 2 by 3. Holy cow, Chris, there's action all over this racetrack.
Man, this thing is exciting, man. This track never disappoints, and it's nice to see these guys throwing sliders and no one's crashing yet.
Alex, the track is starting to widen up very nicely as we complete lap number 5. It is Jay Place. He's just opened up. He's nearly 3/4 of a second lead. In fact, it's going to go to 9 tenths, nearly a second lead now. He is just really opening up this gap. There's now 3 wide again. Yost, McCullum, McSwain. Contact there with Zane Yost. Alex McCullum, Brent New, the big beneficiaries out of that one. They'll move to positions 2 and 3.
And not once, not twice, but now 3 times in 4 heat races we have seen it. Controversy in one of those top 3 spots as a questionable slider there, cutting it close. And you know what, Chris? You hook us to the green. You take us home here in heat race number 4.
We got out of turn 4, or actually going into turn 3 now. I think Jay Place is looking for some redemption. He was awful fast at Knoxville, and I think he's picking up where he last left at Knoxville here at Charlotte, and he takes the win in heat number 4 for VLR.
Well, VLR pick up 3 out of the 4 heat races on the night. As we'll take a look at your heat number 4 results coming up on your screen. Again, the 2 B mains coming up here in just a second. But the final heat race of the season goes to Jay Place. He gets the win from Alex McCullum and Brent New. Those 3 drivers transferring directly to the main event. Logan Rumsey, Dixon Slinger, Scooter Black, Zane Yost, Zach McSwain. We'll see those drivers in B main number 2. B main number 1 getting set to take to the racetrack right now. Just to confirm that it is 10 laps to distance. And we're going to take the top 9 out of this one. So only 2 cars going to miss out, but we'll take a look at your starting grid. Richie Yost will start from position number 1, and Cole Cabray will start from position number 2.
BJ Duval will start in the 3rd spot to the outside, starting 4th, the 28 of Mason Lobb.
CJ Howell starts position number 5, and Colby Horner will line up out of position number 6.
The 777 of Jack Ritz will start in the 7th spot, starting outside. It's going to be the 87 of Rocky Battenfield.
Blake Majoulis will start from position number 9. Hunter Butts out of position number 10. And Alex Bergeron lines up out of position number 11. Chris, if you're Blake Majoulis right now, we can confirm all 11 drivers have made the call for the B main. If you're Blake Majoulis, Alex Bergeron, 2 drivers that are used to being already in the show at this point, usually starting inside the first 3 or 4 rows. How do these guys approach this B main, knowing that 9 out of the 11 drivers on the racetrack are going to transfer?
Well, I think at this point, in Blake's, being in Blake's shoes, he's going to have to get as many as he can if he wants any shot at winning. But let's be honest, Evan's starting on the pole. He should be the one to beat tonight. So Blake's going to need a miracle, but I think any chance for him and Alex to move up and be aggressive in this B main, they're going to have to. They're pretty much a shoe-in to make the show. It's just a matter of who can pass the most cars right here.
Well, again, this will line up the inside row from row number, 7, I think it is. Positions 13, as we've already locked in 12 cars from the heat races. 10 laps on the board. B main number 1 is underway. Richie Yost, Cole Garay, BJ Duval has made a little contact there with Mason Lobb. Now here comes CJ Howe to the inside on Duval as they make their way down the back straightaway, Alex.
BJ Duval right now, he's holding on to the 4th spot here. Wouldn't it be a great comeback story for the 32 to make a feature event? But watch the 127, watch the 12, because those are the 2 cars right now in top 5 in points that are in this B main number 1. Blake Majoulis up to 5th as Alex Bergeron. Now he's making moves as he's up to 6th.
Geez, you get the feeling that Blake Majoulis and Alex Bergeron, these 2 drivers are really on a tear. Battenfield and Duval come together. Battenfield 8th, now Duval in 11th. Look out, Duval to the outside. Oh boy, this is getting tight, Chris, for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, them guys aren't cutting each other any room, but that's what happens when there's only 2 of them that's not making the show, and all 3 of the last three place cars, they're all fighting for that same position.
Blake Matjoulis, Alex Bergeron, they're both coming from positions 9 and 11 in this one. 3 wide for a split second there with CJ Howell, who cut back right through the middle of the race. You see a couple of different lines right now. Alex developing. You see Bergeron run on the bottom side. Matjoulis and CJ Howell, they're sort of running mid-track and sort of 3/4 of the racetrack. They're running those slider lines, throwing the sliders on each other. This is really going to make for an interesting call for race control at the end or before the end of the next B-Main as to what to do with the racetrack.
Racetrack looks phenomenal right now. CJ Howell still under pressure. Another slide job by the 127 of Blake Matjoulis as 3 wide once more. Alex Bergeron, he sits on that bottom side. We've seen it all through his career. That bottom side has worked for the number 12, and he is staying clean. He's stayed clear of all this controversy up top with these sliders. And as we hear Chris Ferguson in the background sometimes, these sliders are getting really close.
Yeah, these guys, they're definitely right on the edge right now, and it's entertaining for us to watch. I'm glad it's not a real race car and we're not inside of it.
Matjoulis down to the middle of the racetrack, slides up, a little short slider there on CJ Howell. Little contact in turns 3 and 4, but Bergeron back to the inside on Matjoulis and CJ Howell right through the middle. You see Matjoulis, he goes to the marbles, Alex, in turns 1 and 2, and right back through the middle of the racetrack he goes in turns 3 and 4. But the laps have really wound down very quickly because Richie Yost has just taken the white flag.
White flag out for B-Main number 1, but a little mistake there. He gets a little tight there, and Cole Cabre almost makes a shot here. He's going to try for it here in 3 and 4. The 71 going to be too little too late, though. Richie Yost, he wins B-Main number 1. Cole Cabre, Blake Matjoulis, Alex Bergeron, CJ Howell, your top 5.
Again, we'll take a look here at your unofficial results, but the top 9 are going to transfer to the main event, and it is going to be a 30-car main event. Alex and Chris, and we normally have 24 cars, but Chris, I'll ask you, what does those extra 6 cars do when you normally have 24 and now you make it a 30 car?
I think it's there could be a few more cautions. There's going to be harder. The track's going to be probably a lot harder, a lot slicker because that many cars being out there at one time, I think it's going to wear out faster. So I'm intrigued to see what the race director does. And in that last B-Main, who would have ever thought Blake Matjoulis and Alex Bergeron running 3rd and 4th?
Oh, there you go. Richie Yost, Cole Cabre, Blake Matjoulis, Alex Bergeron, CJ Howell, your top 5. Mason Love, Rocky Battenfield, Jack Reed, and BJ Duval, the 9 cars to get the transfer positions. Hunter Butts, Colby Horner. Well, this season is over here on the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop UMP Modified Summer Sizzle, presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports, as we take a look at B-Main number 2, the final B-Main of the program. Dustin Mombaket will line up from position number 1. He's outside. Position number 2, it's Logan Rumsey.
Row number 2, the 3rd spot goes to the 91 of Felix Roy. Outside the 51, it's Dixon Slinger.
Hayden Beerline lines up at a position number 5, and he's outside. Position 6 will be Scooter Black.
Starting 7th to 23 of Tyler Knight. 8th, it's the 93, that's Zane Yost.
Kevin Williamson starts position number 9. Out of position 10, it will be Zach McSwain.
Starting 11th to 2, that's Dylan Hauser. 12th, it's the 32 of Daniel Powell.
And that will be our 12 cars. Make that 11 cars, as Daniel Powell did not make the call. Chris, if you're in race director's shoes right now, what are you doing with the racetrack? Are you leaving it, or are you going to have a reset?
I think we're going to have to do some kind of reset. It's already peaking, and this place is, in my opinion, I think it's a little better when it's dirty like this. So I think if this was, the first 10 laps of the feature, it'd be awesome. So maybe a small reset would help. But these guys are the professionals, so I'm sure they're going to make the right call. They're not going to ask a rookie like me.
All right, here we go. The final B-Main of this season. Again, it's been a wonderful 6 weeks of racing over the past 7 weeks, including time, of course, taking last week off. But here we go. We are set for a start. Dustin Mombaket past the 16 machine, and Logan Rumsey to his outside, keeping on Felix Roy, who was pretty quick in qualifying and had an absolute horrific heat race. But now Felix Roy straight up the inside now on Dustin Mombaket. Mombaket has got a hornet's nest behind him, Alex.
You have Dustin Mombaket contact in the back car, sideways and around. I think that was Kevin Williamson, Scooter Black involved in that one there. We're still green. Road of the time being here, Logan Rumsey. He dropped back to 5th now as Dixon Slinger and Tyler Knight, Aiden Beerline, as there is the caution.
Oh, there it is. Basically our first caution since heat race number 2, and I did sort of allude to it earlier, Alex, that generally if we see those couple of cautions early on in the night, it generally makes up for it with the rest of the program. But it's only 3 cautions so far. It's something that we see very minimal of here at Team VLR, because we always know what you're going to get. The drivers know what to expect, and just one way or another, these drivers are always going to put on a show, no matter where we go to. Whether we go to the Dirt Track at Sharp, the Knoxville Raceway, Kokomo Speedway, Cedar Lake, Eldora, every week so far. And I've been proven wrong a couple of times, and I've even said this on air, and I've even said this to Calavoda, that I'm very wary of going to particular racetracks. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. I will admit it, and I will admit that I've been wrong a number of times this season.
As these guys have impressed a lot. But while we have some time, we're going to go and point the fingers at Chris Ferguson. If people want to watch you in action, what is the upcoming schedule for Chris Ferguson this season?
I'm really excited. We're actually headed to Wheatland for the Diamond Nationals, a race we won last year, and we're headed there Friday. And this is a really cool thing to say on the broadcast, but Evan C is going to be coming racing with me this weekend, and we're going to stay out there in Wheatland. And we're going to be headed to I-80 to Greenwood, Nebraska the following Tuesday through Saturday. So we got those races, the North-South coming up, Fairbury. Just check it all out at chrisferguson22.com.
We'll come back to that, because I got a follow-up question for that one. We'll come back to that during the warm-up session as we are back underway. Green flag is out in B-Main, number 2, the final B-Main and the final preliminary race to find out our final 9 drivers to make up a 30-car field. We are quickly back under yellow. So going back to that, Chris, you just said that Evan C is going to be racing with you. How does a deal like that get struck? Because Evan C, I believe, has ran go-karts in real life, but he's very talented on the sim. How does a deal like that get struck between the pair of you guys?
Well, so it all kind of started back in Bristol at the Dirt Nationals. Evan and Blake were good friends of mine on here whenever COVID hit last year, and they really helped me out. So then we decided to start that business together. And long story short, the first trip was Bristol, and Blake and Evan actually hung out along with Calvoda, Howard Weaver, Kevin Dedman, Daniel Powell, Brent Carter's been. A lot of these guys have. And long story short, this past, actually 2 days ago on Sunday, Evan came with me racing to Smoky Mountain when it got rained out, and he helped us clean up. And I asked him, I said, do you want to come racing with us at Nebraska and Wheatland? We don't have no crew, and I think it's going to happen.
No, all right, interesting. We obviously wish everybody the best of luck and wish you guys all the success in the world. But it's a little different from iRacing jumping into the real thing, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I tell everybody this. I've raced a lot of simulations and games over the years, whether it was World of Outlaw 2002 Sprint Cars or Dirt to Daytona. But as far as the actual simulation side of it, iRacing, the dirt late models are as close as they can get. And it's cool to see the guys that are awesome on this game and the ones that are, good in real life, and it all lines up together.
Here we go, back to B-Main number 2. Felix Roy gets a good jump, and Logan Rumsey got an absolute belt of a start on the inside. Now going to challenge Felix Roy for the race, leading into turn number 1 and 2. Mombacat, Slinger, Beeline battling out for positions 3, 4, and 5. But Logan Rumsey working the bottom side, almost on not quite the Alex Bergeron known Alex, but man, he's still down low trying to dig it deep and sell it cheap.
Everyone fighting it off right now for a better starting spot in your A main event. You see Aiden Beerline right now under pressure. The 16 of Mombercat gets into the rut there, and I think he made contact with the wall as well out of turn 4. You see 3 wide. Again, everyone battling it out for a better starting spot.
Was that your alarm? Was that the oven cooker going off, Alex?
That might be.
Rumsey to the inside there on Mombercat. Slides to the middle of the racetrack. They're not right, Chris. They're not right up on the outside, right on the concrete wall, right on the cushion. They're about 3/4 of the way up the racetrack. How difficult is it to put lap after lap on the cushion?
There's no doubt. Only the best iRacers in the world can do that without messing up. So these guys have they got some. They definitely got. They're brave to run up there every lap, and it's not as easy as it looks on the broadcast, to say the least.
Yeah, these guys are really making it work to the best of their abilities right now. Felix Roy comes to 2 laps left to run. Dylan Hauser coming through the field, coming right through the middle there on Dixon Slinger and Aiden Beal. And he splits the gap right now. Your race leader is Felix Roy. A lap and a half to run, Alex. And boy, oh boy, the 91 of Felix Roy, he was good in round 1. He's been very consistent. He's had somewhat of an up and down season, but he's been very consistent. You know what you get from the 91 as the white flag is out.
The 91, remember, that tough break in his heat race to start off the night in heat race number 2. Well, he's redemption time for him. The 91 through 3 and 4, he is going to take home the final B main of the season. Felix Roy wins B main number 2. Zane Yost, Dustin Mombercat, and oh boy, everyone else in between.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to... It's going to be a tough one to dissect, but thankfully we have got the official results coming up on the screen. And just noticing, fellas, the track is not going to reset. Already looking at it, so Race Control have obviously made the decision. Chris, do you agree with the decision right now to leave the track the way it is, or would you have preferred to seen a track reset come out?
Man, it's hard to say. That last B main was 4 wide through the entire field, so anytime that happens, I don't think they're in the wrong. I think it may slow down at the very end and maybe get a little less wide, but I think everybody's in for a real treat. And as long as Alex has those sliders done, I think we're in for a nice night.
All right. Well, again, we'll take a look at the schedule, of course. We are right now on the final round of the season. Just to recap so far, we have seen just 2 winners all season long. Round number 1 and 2, Volusia Speedway Park and Cedar Lake belonged to Blake Matjoulis. Since then, it has all been Evan C. He picked up the win at Eldora, Kokomo, and the Knoxville Raceway. Can he make it 4 in a row? Will we see Blake Matjoulis come from the middle of the pack to finish out the season and potentially a championship? Will Evan C. hold on? There's a whole lot of questions to go through. Or will we see somebody else in victory lane? But again, as the schedule is taken off, Chris, again, we'll keep plugging this every day of the week, all day. And again, we're going to pump it out 17 times before the end of the warm-up session. If people want to get some merchandise, where can they find that?
They can go to cfmesports.com. We got the Dry Fit hats just now in. Evan actually had a couple of them this weekend, and we've been selling some to our customers. We actually got the t-shirts in. It says pre-order on the screen, but we actually just got them in literally this week. So CFM Esports, and then if you ever want to check out the my personal merchandise is shopfergie22.com.
What merchandise you got on shopfergie22.com?
Man, I can't even tell you. I think my mom's ordered everything under the sun, and sometimes I think she uses my credit card without thinking at all. So anything that you possibly could think of is probably on there. I think there's a puzzle on there, and I think puzzles, flags, earrings, shirts, hats, die-cast, everything that you could possibly think of is on there.
All right. Well, as we get ready for the main event, I'm sure these drivers won't have too much more time on this racetrack, considering that it is starting already to get burnt up. And when you put, I'm pretty sure it is going to be 30 UMP modifieds for the final race of the season. Alex, I'll go with you first. 2 questions, and it'll be a part 1, part 2. Who wins tonight? Who wins the championship?
You know what? I can tell you who I think, and I can also tell you the possibilities as well. But I have Evan C. winning tonight, winning the points championship. For Blake, he needs a miracle. He needs to run through the field, win tonight's race, but then he also needs Evan to finish 8th for it to be a tie, 9th for Blake to win the season outright. And, well, don't ask me about tie-breaking because they'll both have 3 wins, and I don't know how Stephen Calavoda is going to work that math out.
That would be very interesting. Chris, if you were in Calavoda's shoes, if for some reason we seen the unthinkable happen, Matjoulis to win, Evan C drop back as far as 8th to have a tiebreaker, considering that both drivers would have 3 wins, who would you give it to, or what would be your tiebreaker?
Oh man, my tiebreaker would probably have to be the highest finish besides the wins. I'd say that'd probably be the most fair, but truth be told, that's going to be crazy if that happens. I'd hate to be in his shoes, and I don't know. I think we're in for a good race here tonight. I think the dirt track at Charlotte never disappoints.
Just on that, I've just seen the track come back to a fresh 0%. So 30 cars going to take to the racetrack. I was right in saying that. Let's take a look, Alex, at your 30-car championship starting grid.
Starting in the 30th spot, it's the 34 of Scooter Black. Starting 29th, the 32 of BJ Duval.
Kevin Williamson starts position number 28. Jack Reitz will start position at number 27. Chris, who starts in row 13?
Aiden Berline, and also rolling off 25th is VLR's Rocky Battenfield.
Starting in the 24th spot, Momentum Sim Sports, the 50 of Dixon Slinger. Starting 23rd, the Slam Sim Sports 28 of Mason Lobb.
Logan Rumsey will start position number 22. CJ Howell will start position number 21.
Am I going, Brett?
No, we'll let Chris go.
Oh, okay, rolling off 20th is Dylan Hauser from Florida, and rolling off a surprisingly 19th, Alex Bergeron for Team ABR.
Starting in the 18th spot, the 16 for VLR, it's Dustin Monarquette. 17th, the 127 of Blake Majoulis.
Zane Yost will start position number 16. Cole Cabray, position number 15, Chris.
We got Felix Roy rolling off in position number 14, and Richie Yost in position number 13.
Starting in the 12th spot, the 144 for Band Motorsports, it's Brent New. Dylan Yeager for VLR will start 11th.
Austin Hunter starts position number 10. Dustin Hall, position number 9, Chris.
Alex McCollum and car number 1 rolling off 8th, and Howard Weber rolling off in 7th.
Barrett Bishop will start 6th, and Matthew Selby in the 46 starts 5th.
Jay Plays will start alongside Brent Carter in row 2. I'll quickly take row 1. Damien Kiefer and Evan C. It is time. We are about to drop the green flag here on championship evening here at the dirt track at Charlotte. We are 75 laps away from crowning a victor. Evan C. already 3 and 4 wide through turns number 1 and 2. Kiefer runs in second. Carter and Jay Place run side by side for positions 3 and 4. Jay Place getting shuffled back a number of positions. Look out. There's some cars making some headway, ducking and diving inside, outside, every which way possible, Alex.
And here we go, fresh reset. You see right there, 4 wide almost as the 127 making moves already. Blake Majoulis, he is moving up, closing in on a top 10 already here, but he has a long way to get to that top spot that Evan C. holds right now. But again, 75 laps. Imagine if this, as everyone is going to try and save some equipment.
Chris, how much would you be trying to push yourself in the early parts of this main event to get yourself in a better spot for later on?
Definitely think if you're starting, farther than 15th back, you got to be up on the wheel. But them guys in the top 10, top 15 are probably just cruising right now. I think we're going to see some veterans like Howard Weaver hopefully make some moves. And I think, like I said, this place never disappoints, man. We're already 2-3 wide, even with the track being this fast.
Yeah, here comes Alex Bergeron to the outside there on Felix Roy. Felix Roy trying to duck down to the inside, get by Brent New. Dylan Yeager runs in 10th position. If you're not inside the top 10, well, it's going to get a little bit more difficult as the night goes on. Of course, this track will start to widen up. Again, we started with a fresh racetrack, 0% before the main event. And again, this, you might sacrifice it in the early parts of the main event, Alex, but boy, oh boy, it really makes up for it in the latter part of the main event.
And you know, everyone in the top 10 except for Zach McSwain is in this feature field tonight. So even if you don't win points championship, it's a lot of headway if you knock off someone like Blake Majoulis. And it can happen here tonight if Blake stays back in 12th. But he is not content on where he is right now. That 127 making moves on the 71 of D1RT. That's Cole Cabray, Dylan Yeager, Dustin Hall right in front of them as well. As watch as these two cars of Cabray and Majoulis try and sneak into the top 10.
Yeah, just noticing Austin Hunter trying to put the moves here on Howard Weaver for positions number 7 and 8. Again, everybody just trying to play it safe in the early parts of this main event. We complete a 9 down, and the first yellow of the main event is going to come out here, and we're going to take a look here at a moment if I can find my little bar. There we go. And it looks like it is going to be the number 2 machine of Dylan Hauser, the reason for the first caution flag of the main event. And it's only caution flag number 4. Chris, that's pretty ballsy right there between some of these drivers. They're 3 and 4 wide, and Hauser, unfortunately, got the worst end of that one.
Yeah, I think these guys are just doing what they think they got to do to get towards the front. I think this is just your typical mid-pack racing, and look at that, 5 wide at one point. And eventually, someone's going to be the meat in the sandwich, and unfortunately, it was Hauser just now.
Yeah, I tell you what, Alex Bergeron was lucky to get away with that when he sort of got away scot-free there on the bottom side. But boy, we talk about sacrificing the racetrack early on in probably the first 10 to 15 laps, but right around the midway point of this race, once this track widens up, Alex, man, it is going to be supreme.
I got a question here. So a 75-lap A-main event. We have a guy who's run 100-lap A-main events here. Chris, every driver has made a mistake once or twice in their career. Have you, and what is costly about ruining the equipment and running it downhill real quick in one of these long races?
It is no fun to drive a car that's got rear deck damage. And long story short, they do not have the traction. They also just don't have the drive, and you can't make as many moves when you ruin your night early.
Green flag back out on the raceway. You see Damian Kiefer now under pressure from the 69 of Brent Carter here. A lot of cars battling it out in the top 10, even outside the top 10 again. Keep your eye on that left ticker. Alex Bergeron was on pit road that caution. He went in and got a quick repair there. So Bergeron back to 27th.
Well, it could be a story developing there for Alex Bergeron. We'll see. We know he's very good at running back through the fields. We've seen him do it a number of times. I'm keeping an eye on Blake Matjoulis trying to come through the field. He's up in position number 12 again. He started 17th. He's up 6 spots. So far, he's not even the hardest charger. I did just have a look there as Cole Cabray, as we are yellow. Cole Cabray has picked up 7 or 8 spots as well. I was just noticing as well, BJ Duval was actually up about 10 or 11 spots. But as the timing scoring goes a little haywire on me, that's not what I want. This is what I want here.
Ooh. There's some tore up race cars there.
And that come via BJ Duval and Dustin Mombaquette. Duval will get a quick repair. Let's go back a little bit further. But here is the 32 and the 16. I think the 32 trying to cut himself in half and become a 16, but that actually happened just in front of him as well. It was the 50 of Dixon Slinger that was.
Yeah, I believe BJ Duval actually was throwing a slider, and unfortunately the cars in front of him were running a cut down line, so they just ran out of space there.
It is so hard to predict, Chris, when you're on that slider line. But then you've also got to take note, and you've got to be wary of the drivers in front of you as they might be battling. If they're doing the same thing, if they've got drivers throwing slide jobs in front of you, you've got to be careful of that cutback line. It's so hard on a single screen. And how are you a man that's got VR triples or a single screen?
I actually have a single screen, and I know exactly what you're talking about because I've crashed so many cars on iRacing throwing a slider and not realizing the guys in front of me were closer than I expected.
Lucky you don't have to pay for it, right? You just hit that escape button and you're good to go again.
I would definitely say so. I'd hate to do that in real life.
Here we go. Green flag back out. Lap number 12 is complete. We still got 63 to run here in the main event. Evan C., your race leader. Jay Place, Damian Keeper. In fact, there's Damian Keeper, Jay Place. Then you go back to the one of Alex McCullum. He's battling it out with Brent Carter. He's got Dustin Hall behind him. They go 3 wide down the front straight away, Alex. And more, oh man, these boys are really starting to make this racetrack work.
Alex McCullum, remember weeks ago, he went from the B main. Dylan Hauser on the infield around caution flag out once again. So here's what we talked about, the early cautions. And we've seen it before sometimes, early cautions. So 3 early cautions here. I wouldn't be surprised if we go green.
This comes back. Hang on, it comes back a little further. Sorry, Chris, just going back a little further as to what happened to Dylan Hauser. Just gets into it there with Richie Yost in the 29.
Yeah, I think what you were talking about earlier, having a little bit of damage definitely doesn't help, and I think Hauser's already, tore up his car once, and that might be why he's struggling back there.
Oh, Brett Wheeler.
Alex?
I'm excited. You want to know why I'm excited?
Uh-oh. When Alex gets excited, generally things can go any which way.
So I went on to ChrisFerguson22.com. Chris Ferguson's coming to the porch.
Oh, God.
He's coming to Forge in August. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't either, man.
You been to Knoxville, Chris?
I haven't, but we've always talked about it, and man, it's always tough because it's the week after the World 100, but, you know, we've been traveling a lot this year, so we're going to do our best to make it.
We all know Knoxville is the real sprint car capital of the world, not
get
some
outta here
Williams
with
Grove
your crap.
Speedway. Here we go, back underway, working on starting lap number 15. So next time by, we will have 60 laps remaining for Evans C. This is still a long way to go, Alex. And now here comes McCullum in that D1RT number 1 machine. That must be a new addition to the D1RT stable.
As Alex McCollum has impressed a lot this season, like we were saying before that caution. Remember, he went through a B main a few weeks ago, came up, finished in the top 10. He started about 21st. He got that final transfer spot, and he came up into the top 10. So keep an eye on the 1 machine. But Damian Kiefer under more pressure here from Jay Place. There's Brent Carter. There's Dustin Hall. Dylan Yeager. Again, close corner racing here at the dirt track out of Charlotte. And Blake Majoulis, he's in the top 10.
He's into 10th position right now. Logan Rumsey up 8 positions. He is your biggest mover through this field. Logan Rumsey started 22nd. He's up to 14th. He's a young kid that can really certainly wheel and deal. Now Jay Place on the inside there on Damian Kiefer. Damian Kiefer was trying to put it there to Evans C in turns 1 and 2, Chris. And I'm going to say, man, Evans C, he doesn't look all that comfortable at the moment, but no doubt as the race goes on and as the track gets slicker, then we'll start to see that 33 be a lot more comfortable.
Man, Jay Place and Damian are putting on a show. They've been changing lines, throwing sliders, and every time I think one of them has second place locked down, the other one throws a slider. So I think Jay's finally got them cleared here, and I'm excited to kind of, we have a caution as we say that.
Well, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're going to blame Alex for this one.
I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't blame me. I didn't pick him.
Oh, no.
Oh, Weaver.
Oh, Howard.
That's a double team. That's a double team between Howard Weaver and Cole Cabray.
Man, that's a rough deal. And I know Howard and Blake are personal friends, so you'd hate to see, I don't think none of this is personal, but that's a really, really costly mistake right there.
Ouch. The 127 from running inside the top 10. Now we'll have to go to the end of the line. Hopefully he should be able to get a quick repair drive back through the pits and come back out onto the racetrack. But man, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to have any sort of contention at the championship. But right now, I mean, if I'm Evans C, I'm just thinking, hey, as long as I stay in front of that 127 machine, the championship's mine, Alex.
Well, for Pete's sake, there's 7 spots. You have to fall back between the 2 of them. So as long as you stay in that 7-spot gap, if you're Evans C, if you make a mistake or a costly mistake or you get hit or something, it doesn't cost you until you drop back those 7 spots. Then it's going to get interesting. Then it's going to get feisty. But right now, Evans C has been untouched, hasn't been tested at all to start this feature event. Kenny, the 16, the 0, even the 69, they've all looked sharp so far, but nobody has touched that 33 machine.
They haven't touched it for the last month or so. Since, you could even go back to round number 2 at Cedar Lake, where Evans C was probably the quickest car in the last 5 to 10 laps, but Blake Majoulis did just enough to hang on. But I'm going to say that 33 over the past 5 weeks of racing, he has been absolutely phenomenal, including the first week. He was pretty quick as well when he ran runner-up to Blake Majoulis. Lap number 21 is in the books. We've still got 54 to go. Here comes Jay Place after a disappointing run, and maybe one that slipped away from the 16 machine at Knoxville a couple of weeks ago. He's now going to challenge for the race lead. Chris, down into turn number 3.
And Jay Place is really, he left some room. He left a lane there for Evan, but Jay's feeling feisty tonight. I think he's looking for a little bit of redemption from Knoxville, and I think he's wanting to show everybody that he's just as tough as Evan and Blake in these modifieds. And sure enough, as we're watching, he throws the slider on Evan, and looks like Evan's going to cross him. But what a heck of a race!
Yeah, Jay Place, Evans C really putting on a Jim Dandy of a feature event. Damian Kiefer, Dustin Hall, Brent Carter, Dylan Yeager, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But so far. They are unable to touch anyone in the top two. The likes of Jay Place and Evan C. They continue to change lines, and Jay Place to Alex still trying to throw those sliders, but it's that top side line that is still starting to become the more dominant preferred line.
As we have expected here, line to be the dominant side here, but there's Dustin Hall. Him, Dylan Yeager, that 48 machine. We preached about Alex Bergeron, how he's made a name for himself on the bottom. So has the 48. Dylan Yeager, if you look back over the past season here, he has not been known to throw slide jobs even. He is just sit on the bottom, stay calm, cool, and collected, but he goes to the top side here because he's losing a lot of ground.
Yeah, Yeager does go to the top side, riding behind his teammate in that Selena truck stop, teamvlr.com, number 69 machine. That's Brent Carter into the wall. They go 3 wide. Brent Carter does well to stay into the wall, but Dylan Yeager does an even better job not to just plow over the back of that 69. But we are back under the caution flag yet again, and uh-oh. You know it's coming. It's championship over for him. Blake Matjoulis is gone.
Oh, no. Man, he's just at the wrong place at the wrong time there.
And
I hate to see it happen to Blake. You know, he's been really good, been putting himself in position, and just tonight's not been his night. I tell you what, though, Brent Carter got a gift right there. Wouldn't you guys say?
Absolutely. He was in the mix of losing 3, maybe 4 positions, maybe even a bit more. But that yellow does come out, and Chris, that's something that these drivers need in any race, but especially these longer races. You need to have luck on your side.
Oh, for sure. I think putting a race together takes a lot, but you can't just do it yourself. You got to have things go your way, and you got to have situations that play into your hand. And you know, some of these guys are making out good, and just like what happened to Blake, some of these guys are having terrible luck.
Alex, well, Evan C. He's been pretty much untouchable, except for these last 5 or 6 laps. Jay Place. Is Jay Place peaking a little too early, Alex?
Yes.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, that's all I need to say pretty much. If you watch this feature event, yes.
All right, here we go. Pace truck is in. The dirt track at Charlotte playing host to the final round of the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports. We are back underway. Check out cfmesports.com as we are underway once again. Evan C, Jay Place, Damian Kiefer, Brent Carter, Dylan Yeager. So C, Place, Carter and Yeager, all VLR guys. They are running the top, running the cushion. You got the likes of Kiefer, Dustin Hall, one on the bottom side. Have a look at Felix Roy from position 14. He was the B main number 2 winner. He is up to 8th position, but look behind him, guys. Alex Bergeron is up to 9th position as we go 3 wide into turn number 3.
The 12 machine is up into the top 10 here, folks. Can he make some more moves here? Yeah, and ooh, let's get some more controversy here with another caution. And why do I have a feeling? Just what I'm thinking about him making moves. Why do I have a feeling that BJ Duval's involved in this one?
I got Dixon slinging the 50, but it could just be that.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
Someone got over the cushion there.
That was Mason Love at 28.
Yeah, and BJ didn't have nowhere to go, and then unfortunately Dixon got hung up in that.
Hey, Brett Wheeler.
Alex Robinson, Chris Ferguson, we're all in the booth.
What's with these real life racers coming into broadcast booth and actually killing it? I watched the USAC event, and you have Chris Windham killing it. You have Ferguson here tonight, and he's absolutely killing it, even though we're throwing him under the bus most of the time.
Hey, I think he's actually pushing the bus quite well.
Hey, I will say this though. I don't know what Alex was cooking, but he has yet to answer the question about what he was cooking in the oven. We want to know. The fans want to know right now, Alex.
Because I don't get to eat it till yet. I don't get to eat it, so no one gets to know.
I tell you what, it might be popcorn for these last 45 laps.
No, that you would hear a lot more than that because we got our own popcorn maker.
Perfect.
It's melted butter. Ooh. Now you're making me hungry. Now this is totally torture. We need to go green to checker here.
I tell you what, man. I don't know about you guys, but this thing's starting to widen out, and there's a lot of guys just running right on the fence. And as you can tell, there's been a few cautions here just because someone got over the cushion. But man, hats off and kudos to these professionals. These guys that can run 2 inches from the fence and not fence it is pretty exciting.
That's very. It's certainly a fine line to run that cushion and jump that cushion and get into the wall. We go single file restart, and I'm going to blame Alex for that one. Just because Chris, he still hasn't answered the question. He knows what he's having. He's just refusing to let us know. Alex, we're going to ask you again, what's in the oven cooking?
Well, there was stromboli in the oven cooking, but leave me alone. But, Brett Wheeler, I've asked you, I've asked Steve, I've asked the fans. Nobody really has given me an answer. So now I'm going to throw Chris into the bus here. Season 14 is coming up Sunday. I usually have a season food. I need a season food for this season, Brett Wheeler. We had spaghetti. We had chicken last season. We need something, but you haven't answered it. So we're going to ask Chris Ferguson, what should be the season food for this coming season?
Oh, what season is it? 14?
Yep.
Man, if it was 15, I would say like just some steak or something just to celebrate 15 seasons. But 14, oh man, I just had some. I know it's not really seasoned, but I just had some lobster from a steakhouse last night. So maybe you can do like some seasoning on some fish or some seafood.
Brett Wheeler, I need a pay raise.
Sorry, new phone, who this? Sorry, who am I talking to again?
Good answer.
Chris, got a question. Are you going to try and run the topless 100?
We typically don't get to make it because it's the week either between the North-South and I believe it's after the North-South and then maybe between that and another big race. So I will say this, though. If we run top 5 like we did last year at these big events, there's a good chance we're going to make it because that's definitely on the bucket list.
All right, there you go. That was a question from Hood Up Motorsports. Alex Tommy Suttles says pizza. Have pizza as your choice or your food for season 14. We're back underway. We'll start lap number 32. So 31 laps are in the books of this 75-lap main event. Evans C, J Place, and Damien Kiefer. So far, your top 3. Then you go back to Dustin Hall, Brent Carter. They battle side by side. Carter on the top side. Dustin Hall rolls right to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Dylan Yeager, going to sneak back into the top 5. And again, a lot of these drivers working the cushion. Now you start to see Dylan Yeager use that cutback line on the exit of turn number 2, Alex.
Dylan Yeager, that 48 machine. Watch him now as, again, the top side coming in very sharply here. But that bottom middle, watch as later on in this racetrack, because with these caution laps, tracks running in, tracks getting slick, you see Cole Cabret throw a slide job, but Felix Roy, once again, the 91 machine running a top 10 spot. But here comes Alex Bergeron going for a 2-for-1 slide job.
Yeah, really threading the needle there, throwing the double slide job on Felix Roy and Cole Cabret, but done well not to get into the back of the 331 machine. The Slick Sim Sports entry of Dustin Hall, Roy, Bergeron, and Cabret putting on a nice little 2 and 3 wide battle. Cabret slides up, gets the double Canadian slide job into turns 3 and 4. Felix Roy back to the inside, and Bergeron just playing possum at the moment, just staying on the bottom side. Now here comes Dustin Hall. He's going to now make this a 4-car battle for 6, 7, 8, 9, Chris.
Man, if you don't like this, I tell you what, there's I don't know what's going to get you excited because these guys are throwing double sliders, triple sliders. Literally, Felix Roy, Cole, and Alex right there. They're putting on a show. It's like they're trying to sell T-shirts at Charlotte. It's literally it's like whoever can be the ballsiest is going to win this corner. And I'm telling you what, you fans, you're in for a treat right now.
Well, the only T-shirts that they need to buy is the CFMesports.com T-shirts. Or Shop Fergie 22. We continue on with Dustin Hall moving into position number 5 momentarily. Here comes Brent Carter back to the outside into turns 3 and 4. Kiefer runs low. But again, it's still Evans C, J Place. And Evans C has opened up a near 2-second advantage over J Place. But the battle just around the top 5 positions, 4, 5, 6, and 7, is still starting to heat up. Dustin Hall, Brent Carter. Then you go back to Cole Cabret, Felix Roy, Alex Bergeron. Now remember, Alex Bergeron inside the first 10 laps, He had to go to the pits. He got a quick repair and had to come from the back of the field. Brent Carter makes a mistake, so the 69, you're just starting to see that Salina truck stop. Number 69 just slipped a little back further in this field, Alex.
You see a slide job there by Alex Bergeron. Now the 12 machine up to 7th. Remember, he had to go through a B main. He's up there. But talk about somebody who started, ran through the heat race, got in, and now he's dropped back. He's still on the track, but the 07 machine, Howard Weaver, he has dropped back. Oh, check up there from Alex Bergeron, or he would have caught right to the inside of Dustin Hall. Smart driver move there from the 12, but Cole Cabre on the attack now on the 331. Dustin Hall holds the 5th spot, but here comes Bergeron inside of the 71 machine, side by side. Those two go. The battle's behind. Look at them all go. The top 10 is fierce and competitive here, folks.
And Chris, I'll throw it to you. The way that Alex Bergeron just checked up in turns 3 and 4 a couple of laps ago with Dustin Hall, how difficult and how much does it take to bring these cars up, considering that he was carrying a whole lot of speed?
That was very impressive. Alex is doing his best seasoned veteran Dale McDowell impression, because this he's putting on a show right now. I can't believe he got woed up, and heads up driving, naturally by a veteran, a guy that's as talented as him that can literally run around the bottom or run on the fence like you guys just saw. It's exciting to watch, and this guy's definitely putting on a show. He's trying his best to throw the slider on Cole, but Dustin just seems to be in the way every time. So we'll keep an eye on that.
45 down, 30 remaining here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Cody, I'll come back to that question if we get our next yellow. Right now, it is still Evan Seay, your race leader. He has all but probably got one hand on the championship trophy right now. Jay Place runs in second after a great start a couple of weeks ago at Knoxville, looking for redemption. But how about Damien Keefe, Alex? Qualified near at the back of the field, had to run from position 9 in his heat to get the win, and now finds himself in 3rd position. That's not a bad way from how it all started horribly wrong in qualifying.
And remember, a few months ago, we never heard of this kid in that 0 machine with Damien Kiefer. Comes out, runs some races, and man, oh man, he's made a name for himself here tonight, especially running 3rd right now in front of Dylan Yeager, Dustin Hall, Alex Bergeron, Cole Cabre. I named Dustin Hall, Cole Cabre, and Alex Bergeron all had black stripes or still have their black stripe pro license. So talk about being a newcomer here and knocking off some of the best.
Well, Bergeron on his way to position number 7. He has passed 12 cars. Cole Cabre, he's up in 6th position, just right in behind Dustin Hall. Now looking to make it past 10 cars. Cole Cabre started 15th, He's up to now position number 5. He cracks the top 5 in that D1RT Racing number 71. Chris, you've got to be admired with the way that some of these drivers are able to handle such difficult track conditions, especially with what we started with, 30 cars out of what would normally be a 24-car field.
Yeah, this track's definitely getting some character now. I think the pull bars are getting a workout, because you watch down the backstretch, these guys are bouncing around a pretty good bit, and from my personal experience, I can barely drive that thing when it does that. So for these guys to be able to make this many laps without a caution, I'm very impressed. And I think if we put an in-car camera on Evan there, he may be smoking a cigarette or eating a sandwich right now.
Oh, look, asking you shall receive, buddy. Look at that.
Man, this guy is just cruising right now. It's amazing how sharp he is in these modifieds, along with the late models. And I mean, he might as well just be eating a bologna sandwich down the front stretch. He's smooth. He looks like Scott Bloomquist. And really, man, look at this. You just can't beat it. This guy's just so tough. I mean, he's out on a Sunday cruise. He's headed to the beach. I don't know about the rest of these guys though.
Well, nice and sunny day here at the dirt track at Charlotte. He's just making it look so very, very easy. Alex, 21 laps to go. And just a few little mistakes there from Evan Seay in turns 1 and 2. We've seen him jump the cushion a number of times, but I'll tell you what, he's got such a big lead, nearly a 3.5 second lead. We've got to battle on for second, Alex. 2, 3, and 4, in fact.
You have Jay Place, Damien Kiefer, Dylan Yeager all going at it right now. Damien Kiefer, the odd man out here, as Dylan Yeager looks to make it a 1-2-3 VLR feature event here. But Damien Kiefer in the 0 machine holds on to the 3rd spot. Alex Bergeron up to the 5th spot here, and he's right there battling it out with Cole Cabre and Dustin Hall. So again, this whole top 10 fighting it out right now, but the battle for second heats up between Place, Kiefer, and Yeager.
I think our last caution was about lap 30. So we are nearly 30 laps of green flag racing, but we are 57 on the board completed. That makes it, 18 to go. Evan C. Sunday drive here on a Tuesday evening here at the dirt track at Charlotte for the championship night of the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop, and looking to get win number 4 of 6. J Place, Damien Kiefer, Dylan Yeager. Dylan Yeager would love to finish third and knock Damien Kiefer outside, and just to make it a VLR 1, 2 and 3, look at Alex Bergeron up to position 5. Cole Cabre back to 6.
And now you got to think, if you're J Place, Damien Kiefer, Dylan Yeager, right now, when you have Bergeron, you have Cabre, you have Barrett Bishop, who's up in the 7th spot, do not make a mistake. I understand you're battling, but if you make a costly mistake, you're back here with the rest of these cars who have veteran experience and a lot of years over some of these guys. They will attack quickly, and they will take over a 2nd or 3rd spot from you very quickly here. But Jay Place right now, he is showing some poise as he holds on to 2nd still.
Well, you said earlier on the night, Alex, that Dylan Yeager is not one of those drivers to typically throw those slide jobs. He just rolls around the bottom, passing these cars on the bottom. This is exactly what he's doing right now. We are getting close to 10 to go. We're about 3.5 laps away from 10 to go. Evan C. still leads the race. 2, 3, and 4 on screen. J Place in the 16 runs in 2nd. The 0 of Damien Kiefer in 3rd. And the 48 of Dylan Yeager in 4th. They've got a bit of a gap, nearly a 2-second gap, back to 5th place of driver of Alex Bergeron. Chris, if you're these drivers right now, how much would you be playing on a late race caution, or would you prefer this race just to go green the rest of the way?
I think realistically, these guys are as good as Evan is right now. I think they're probably happy to be 2nd and 3rd, especially with the guys that are behind them. But right now, it's kind of a chess match. It's really exciting to see, Jay kind of running the middle there, and Kiefer throwing the slider right here. It's all about the timing right now, and you got Yeager's. I think he's just searching right now. I think these guys are kind of set right there in the middle bottom, and Yeager's going to go ahead and peek out to the outside and try to rip the lip.
I tell you what, the turns 1 right up until they get the middle of turns 1 and 2, it looks very, very good, but it's just that exit speed that he's probably lacking, and the same thing out of turn number 4. Turn 3 looks good as well. Yeager now to the outside there on J Place, jumps the cushion into the concrete wall. 10 to go, make that 9 to go this time by J Place, Damien Kiefer. They give themselves a bit of separation from Dylan Yeager, and now these two drivers are certainly going to put on a show here in these final 8 or 9 laps.
Battle for the 2nd spot. Damien Kiefer, J Place, slide job once more for Damien Kiefer. Here comes Place to the inside, that 16 machine. You know what's coming. It's a slider, a short one there for J Place as the battle for 2nd. These two going at it. Look back, Alex Bergeron. There's the mistake we were talking about. Don't make a costly mistake, because Alex Bergeron now up to 4th, gets around Dylan Yeager, and he's coming on the attack here very soon on J Place, Damien Kiefer, as those two fight it off.
Well, there's a 1 second differential between Alex Bergeron and Damien Kiefer in J Place. So 1 second, it might take a bit of time to catch up. And oh my, lap 69 sees a caution. Not a flag that Evan C would have liked to have seen. The next flag that he would have liked to have seen would have been the white flag, considering that he had about a 3.5 second gap. But Chris, if you're the likes of Evan C right now, how much does this caution get into your mind, and what are you thinking about under yellow here?
You're definitely. I think he knows to hit his marks. Hopefully, we didn't get to watch him there because he was so far ahead, but I don't think he's out of rhythm. I think he knows how to do this. He's been in this situation numerous times, so I think it's probably just another day at the office for him. But Bergeron's putting on a show there. He's ripping the top. He was catching them guys pretty quick. So I really think he may spoil the party. You never know. It's just going to depend on this last restart.
Now we see a comment in a question for you here. What is it like racing with the likes of Kyle Larson? We saw you guys battle it out. You've had the fun of it for the past 2 years now. What's it like battling out with a NASCAR star like Kyle Larson? Oh,
it's awesome. I definitely consider Kyle one of my personal friends. I build his seats at my real job at Butler Built, and just kind of he's asked me a few questions about driving, and that dude is definitely one of the GOATs. He's one of the best of all time, and when we were able to outrun him at Port Royal and Bristol and a few other places, it's just a feather in my cap, to be honest with you.
Now, why would you give a guy like him tips?
I don't know. I was actually honored that he asked me.
Alex, I was just going to say, look, when you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. That's all I can say. 6 to run right now. Evan C, Jay Place, Damien Kiefer, nearly making it 3 wide. Kiefer into the back of Evan C. He kept it going. Here comes Bergeron, Barrett Bishop, Dylan Yeager, Brent New, Dustin Hall. Man, you can now throw a blanket 3 wide for the race lead. Nearly going to make it 4 wide. Oh my God, Alex Bergeron up on the top side of the racetrack, and Jay Place to the race lead, but only momentarily.
Oh.
A lot of contact here as we're going to catch our breath, but look who got up to second. Barrett Bishop here, folks, going to make a name, that number 3 machine. He is up into second, battling it out with Damien Kiefer, Brent New, Dustin Hall, Felix Roy. They're all in that mix for the second spot right now. You even have Dylan Yeager. He's in the 7th spot, and he's right there behind him here. This is going to be a barn burner here. 3 laps to run.
Chris, this is just this is insane, isn't it?
We couldn't ask for any better of a race. I think that Evan got a little break there with Jay and Bergeron getting together, but man, it's here it is again. Just when we thought it was home.
And now it's going to come down to a green-white checker. Do you think that Evan C's eyes must have lit up when he was 3 and 4 wide, Chris?
I think he's definitely awake now at this point. If he didn't know, he knows now. So. Those guys, Jay got a run there on the outside of them. That was impressive. Unfortunately, it's all for nothing. But man, I think Evan definitely got his cage rattled a little bit there.
Well, Alex, your favourite time of the night, a green-white checker. Is this sort of fitting to finish up the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle?
Oh, it's fitting. It's going to be fitting here. We've had great races throughout the season. Close one, nail-biters, questionable moves. It all comes down to this. Evan C., he's locked up the championship here. But Kiefer, Bishop, New, Hall, the list goes on. The whole top 10 has a chance. We saw it on the restart. The whole top 10 has a chance to knock off the 33. And talk about what could be a marquee win for a guy like Barrett Bishop, Felix Roy, to knock off that 33 machine in the championship night.
Well, I mean, you can't discount out Damien Kiefer in the Zero Machine again. What the speed that he showed during his heat race, where he went from 9th to 1st in heat number 2, when the track was still fresh, it was still tacky. He has got a chance to pick up his first win of the season and be our 3rd different winner. We've got 2 laps left to run here. Championship night of the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle. Lap number 73 is complete. We'll start lap number 74. Evan C will lead us off into turn number 1. And here comes Damien Kiefer looking to the outside. Bishop and Brent New. They go side by side, 2 by 2, down into turn number 3 and 4. We will greet the white flag this time by the final championship lap is upon us, and Evan C holds Damien Kiefer off by half a car length down into turn number 1 and 2. Kiefer slides to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Evan C back to the outside. Kiefer and C, what a way to finish off the UMP Summer Sizzle into turn number 3 and 4. C to the outside. Damien Kiefer on the low side. It's a drag race. Oh, my Evan C has just gotten it. Oh, they're crashing across the start finish line. Holy cow! Chris, Alex, how about that for a finish?
I think I broke my headset, but that was awesome. What a race, man! What a great job by Evan and Kiefer. What a clean finish, door to door, right there to line. Man, we couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Wow, Alex.
Brett Wheeler, you know what that finish just reminded me of?
Tell me.
You got to go back 2 years ago to the Morton Building, World of Outlaws Super Late Models here on iRacing. When you went here for championship night, you had Blake Matjoulis, Evan C, Alex Bergeron, Dylan Hauser going at it for that final. You even had Dylan Wilson in the mix there. That's what that reminded me of. Another great finish there. Evan C marks it off here as a championship. 4 wins on the season. Evan C with the win. Damien Kiefer, Brent New, Barrett Bishop, and Jay Place your top 5.
Dustin Hall, 6th. Richie Yost, 7th. Dylan Yeager, 8th. 9th was Zane Yost, and Matthew Selby rounds out your top 10.
11th, Felix Roy, Brent Carter, Howard Weaver going to bounce back up to 13th there. Rocky Battenfield and Aiden Beerline finish your top 15.
Austin Hunter in 16th. 17th was Dustin Mombaket. Mason Lobb in 18th. CJ Howell 19th. And 20th was Jack Reitz.
21st, it was Kevin Williamson. Alex Bergeron goes all the way back to 22nd. Cole Cabre in 23rd. Dixon Slinger, Alex McCollum running up the top 25.
And your final 5 drivers, 26 through to 30 of Scooter Black, Logan Rumsey, Dylan Hauser, BJ Duval, and Blake Matjoulis in 30th position. You let that one sink in. Blake Matjoulis home in dead last. We're going to go straight down into victory lane. We are going to chat to the driver that makes it 4 in a row, and probably should have been 5 in a row, but he holds off by a 1/10 of a second. Evan C., first of all, congratulations on this win. Boy, that was a nail-biter.
Oh, yeah, definitely didn't want those yellows at the end of that 3-second lead, but I was kind of surprised. I thought it was pretty good on the restarts. I couldn't get a good enough jump to move up to the top, and that's kind of where I wanted to be in 1 and 2, but that lower mid was good enough where I could throw the slider both times in 3 and 4 and, try to get a gap coming to the line there. And, it was definitely a fun race at the end, though, but just trying to put in a solid night tonight. I don't think we had to win, but just put in a solid night, and we were able to do that.
Mate, before that last caution, before that final green-white checker, we go back to, I think it was about 6 to go. When you guys took the green flag, I think a lap or 2 in, you guys were 4 wide for the race lead. How much does that get into your mindset when the next yellow came out? Because you went from having a 3-4 second lead to going 3 and 4 wide for the race lead.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were 4 wide. Spotter wasn't doing his job, I guess, for me there, but
was that Daniel Powell?
No, probably. I thought we were just 2 wide there, but I knew looking up, I don't know who was on outside of me that first one, but I knew I should at least had enough momentum to be able to side them in 3 and 4, and if they was able to cut down on me, then we'd just go to the top in 1 and 2 and see how it played out from there, and was able to do that both times, and putting together some good laps at the end, like I said, and just biggest thing was not making a mistake, hitting the bump, getting into the wall, or getting stuck on the wall in 1 and 2, and was able to do that there at the end and finish it off.
Right, let's talk championship status, because now you've picked up the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle. Yourself and Blake Matjoulis have pretty much dominated this 6-week series. Blake's picked up the first 2 wins. You picked up the last 4 wins. You probably go back to Cedar Lake in round 2. You probably should have had that win, because we all seen that you were probably faster than Blake there in those final 5 to 10 laps. But when you seen Blake got an EOL in the heat race, did you know that was probably the moment that you had the championship wrapped up, or were you still going into it knowing that all you had to do was finish in front of Blake to get the job done in the championship?
Yeah, I was just, when he got the EOL, I knew he was going to come back and probably make the show anyway. So, my job was just, or my goal was kind of just to go in here and, try and qualify good, win a heat race, and, just to be up front, because anything can happen in the race, net code, or just getting in an accident and going to the back, and we're both in the show at that point. So, like I said, anything could have happened, and my main goal was just make the show. If he didn't make it, had obviously been best case scenario, we wouldn't have to worry about him too much. But he was still making the show no matter what. There are 9 cars going to the main, but like I said, we just tried to put it up front, keep it up front, stay clean. That was kind of the best way for us to seal the deal.
All right. Well, look, congratulations, Evan, on the final 4 weeks and picking up 4 in a row. But more importantly, congratulations on picking up the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Summer Sizzle Championship here, presented by Team Victory Lane Racing and CFM Esports. A good looking hot rod. We know you've got a lot of sponsors on this race car, a lot of people behind the scenes, buddy. Now's an opportunity to thank each and every one of those people.
Just got to thank everybody at Team VLR. Just put in the work on the setup, and haven't changed it since week 2, and just been trying to come out here and put together some good runs, and we've all been doing that. So I just got to thank all them guys. Everybody at CFM Esports, Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop, go check us out for the best setups on iRacing, setup guides, anything you need, and then Tactory Defense, Selena Truck Stop, Howard Weaver. just everybody helps out on a car, and just everybody that's helped us get to where we are and be able to win this championship. And just thank y'all guys doing the broadcast for us each week. And like I said, everybody helped put on this event for us.
All right, there we go. Congratulations to Evan C, your winner here tonight, but more importantly, your champion for the Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop UMP Summer Sizzle. Alex Robinson, you are caught up with our runner-up here tonight.
Damian Kiefer in the Zero Machine comes home in second. And talk about wild events for you tonight. Start dead last in the heat race. Come up and win that heat race. Start up front and finish second in the final race of the season. And the heart had to be pumping there on the final laps.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I missed qualifying and everything because I was actually out in the shop. I had to rebuild the late model transmission for this weekend, and came back inside, and Matjoulis told me that I was late, and I was like, oh my God. And won that heat from ninth. I was pumped about that because I knew I'm pretty good here, and I don't know, but that last few laps there, I knew on that last restart I had the outside working, and went into 3 and 4 there in the last corner, and I got a little bit too excited, I guess you would say. Had the nerves rattling, and I just missed it, and he got me off exit. But heck of a race, honestly. Congrats to Evan on the championship, and just glad to be a part of it. And I don't know. I'm excited, though.
And now talk about the restart before the green-white checker there, where you had everyone within the top 7 right there on you or on the outside, inside. There were 4 or 5 wide. Talk about the heart. That had to get you pumped before the green-white checkered, especially when you had the controversy right next to your door.
Oh, for sure, honestly. My spotter, Mario Perez, was looking out for me, and he was telling me that we were 3 or 4 wide. Then there was somebody trying to make it 5 wide, and I just hold my line. And I was just really trying to keep it smooth because I knew everybody was going to try as hard as they could to pass anybody there. And I knew if I stayed smooth, I'd be the consistent, especially in these modifieds. As soon as you get the wheel out of whack or you get too excited on the gas, you'll make a mistake like I did in the last corner. But you learn from that, and I guess that just takes time and practice. But I don't know. I just really like to thank Blake for calming me down all the time and getting me to focus.
And now we know you had a lot of pressure, a lot of great stuff. How does it feel? Again, I'm looking to see official points here. Let me see where Calavoda, if he sent it to me yet. But final thoughts here before the late model season. A lot of more prep, a lot more stuff going on yet this season, coming up the next few months. And this is only, 5 months on iRacing?
Yeah, 5 months. Well, I guess it'd be technically 6 months now, but pretty much, yeah.
So, man, oh, man. And as of right now, the points are semi-updated as of right now. You are going to finish... You're going to finish 4th in points as of right now. The points are not official, but right now, 4th in points. So, well, wait, Calavoda's here. Mr. Calavoda, are the points official yet?
Good chat. No,
good chat. Great chat.
I did tell him to mute up because we are going to talk to him, but I can't see why they wouldn't be official anyway, Alex.
Okay, sounds good.
I haven't said a word about points yet. I don't do points, so I'm going to leave that one to Rocky Battenfield. As soon as he gives me the updated link or tells me they're official, I will let you know. I'm sure he's working on it right now, though.
Well, there we go. So, Damian Kiefer unofficially going to come home in 4th in points. Great season overall. The Zero Machine, Damian Kiefer. Brett Wheeler, you're with our 3rd place finisher of Brent New. No. That's right. Chris Ferguson is getting this interview.
I don't know if you guys want me on it, but Calvoda, why are you so slack on the points, man? They're calling you out. I'm very confused by that.
I don't know why I don't know why at all. I don't do points. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, that was Alex throwing you under the bus. I'm going to throw Alex under the bus there.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Alex just doesn't know. He's not up on the whole VLR how we roll. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, anyways, Calvoda's Calvota's got a face for radio, so let's go ahead and get along with this interview for Brent with a heck of a run there in third. I know you had a front seat action for that race for the lead, and you were actually involved with it. Explain how you ended up there, with a top 3 at the end of the race.
Just patience mainly. I started about 10th or 12th, kind of fell back to 16th, and I started just running that middle line in both corners, trying to stay out of everybody's way, and the track come to me, and then that caution come out. I don't know how many laps there was to go. I was sitting about 7th, and I seen Damien getting under Evan on the bottom, so I went down there, and I ended up passing, I think, 3 or 4 cars before the green, white, checkered caution come out, and I just feel lucky finishing this well against these caliber drivers.
Oh, for sure. Is when you get to line up next to these guys like Bergeron and Matjoulis and Evan and just the guys that have won the Pro Series and won all these races, the Spring Flings, as a driver, does any of that pressure ever get to you? I know you guys I've watched you race this year just for being involved with our speed shop, but does any of that ever get to you as far as pressure in these iRaces?
Oh yeah, I tend to overthink a lot. Like, I'll have a decent setup, and I feel like it's not good enough because I'm not as fast as those guys. So I'll change it and make it worse, and it's a little bit of pressure. I race in real life, and my heart don't race as hard in real life as it does on here. So it's a little nerve wracking sometimes.
I hear you there, man. I know exactly what you mean. Well, heck of a run in third tonight. We'll give you a second to thank all of your sponsors and supporters.
I want to thank my wife for allowing me to do this, get on here and practice every night. And my teammate, Mason Lobb, me and him sat down last night today and worked really hard on a good setup. And, I'm kind of still shell-shocked about finishing that well, so that's about it.
Well, awesome run tonight, man. We appreciate you participating in the series. We appreciate all you competitors, and like I said, good job on the top 3 finish in the finale.
I appreciate it, man.
Well, there we go. Brent New talking with Chris Ferguson. What a way to wrap up a 6-week season. So we'll bring in Stephen Calavota. Wow. Look, I got to say, a number of times I've said this a number of times throughout the season. There's been a couple of tracks where I thought that it shouldn't be on the schedule. I told you to prove me wrong. And I got to say, you've proved me wrong every time, buddy. I mean, first of all, a 30-car main event tonight. That's a lot of cars on such a tight not so much a tight track, but a wider track like this. Was that always going to be the plan for the race?
Since you want to call me out on it, Brett, I'm just going to tell you something, Brett. I had this race scheduled a week ago, okay? Last week, I put it up on League Sessions, great. And then iRacing comes along, and they have to take out my monthly membership, and it takes from the credits instead of charging my card. So when my nice scheduled session comes up at 8 o'clock tonight, Brett, guess what happens? I have $0 in credits. So that was my first biff of the night. I swung and missed early. So we got around that, got the server up and running, and then it went great from there. The tracks have been fantastic. I mean, I've learned a lot of the physics on iRacing, so I kind of know what the cars are going to do and what the tracks are going to do, and I just want to see a good show, and the guys will complain and holler and yell and get mad when I have to get involved, but at the end of the day, I don't want to have to get involved. I want to sit here and watch a good race, and I want you guys to be able to call an amazing race. That's what I'm all about. The quality of the show is why we can throw this money around. If we don't have a good quality show, great broadcasters, great business partners, Chris and Evan and Blake, this stuff just doesn't happen. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
It certainly does. It's been a wonderful 6 weeks, albeit I was here for 5 of those 6 weeks. I did have to miss one, but I tell you what, from what I've seen over these 6 weeks, I mean, there is a reason that there's a reason why these sponsors keep coming back to throw this kind of money out on the racetrack for these drivers on the sim. we're going to leak a bit of information here. You've told me to leak something here. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. I'm going to let you talk about what is coming up here for VLR.
Well, pretty much what we got going on, Brett, is as early as next Thursday. So we are putting this one out there. We're putting this one out there pretty quickly. Everything's been filling sort of like in the last second. Everybody's procrastinating, not spending that money until they have to. So we're waiting until the last second to throw out registration. We're starting right here on Ultimate Dirt TV next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a 60-car field. It's going to be pro late models, open setups, 8 weeks. All right, schedule's posted on a link. You just splattered all over the place. Go ahead, hit that link. Go ahead and sign up. I don't even have a flyer ready for this. You know, my graphics designer.
What you sent, that link you sent me is on the screen right now, buddy.
Wonderful. My graphics designer at VLR, we're equal opportunity employers, and he's decent, okay? He does great work, but man, trying to get him to do anything is like pulling teeth. So we're just a little bit behind the 8 ball on that flyer there, but as soon as we get that up and running, we will do an official release. But I wanted everybody, especially, I'd say 75% of these guys in this UMP series, I'd love to have them in that pro late model series. The other 25%, hey, maybe we can see some new faces, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a great league to run, like I said, starting next Thursday, hey, it's going to cost you a $50 bill to run it. Our great friends at Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop put up a lot of money to cover all the bills behind the scenes. We also have some extra prizes we're going to have made up for this series. It's something we usually don't do, but we're really strongly going towards a mini check for every winner and the champion, along with a $3,000 purse to go along with it. So $50, 8 races. It's not that much money when you look at the grand scheme of things, what you're getting out of the deal. A lot of bang for your buck right there. So I'd appreciate anybody who wants to join, click that link, and by all means, join up. We'd appreciate it.
Works out to be about $6.25 a race if you do all 8 races. And considering that the amount of money or the money that we pay for the membership, it's not a whole lot if you think about it over the 8 weeks, but $3,000 in cash in prizes thanks to Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop, shopfergie22.com, Bighorn Taxidermy, a lot of good people behind the scenes. Stephen, thank you very much for this UMP modified summer sizzle. Certainly looking forward already to the pro late models in a little over a week.
Thanks a lot, Brett. Appreciate Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett Wheeler, Alex Robinson, Jerry Vansickle when he can make it by. We always miss Jerry when he can't. Great guy there. So, again, tonight, shout out to the legendary Christopher Ferguson. I'm sure you have plenty of other things to do tonight, Fergie. So I appreciate you coming, spending time with your iRacing buddies, and spending the night with Ultimate Dirt TV. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much for everything you do for us.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Had a blast tonight, man.
All right, well, that will wrap us up here on Ultimate Dirt TV. And, of course, we've been live across Facebook and YouTube. We've also been live on the TeamVLR.com Facebook page. Don't forget to hit the like and follow button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course, all free to watch again. Reminder, next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Matjoulis-Seay Speed Shop Pro Late Model Season Opener. Where are we going to on that one, Calaveras? I did just look at the schedule. Was it Volusia?
Starting at Volusia, ending at Charlotte. Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, all roads lead to the dirt track at Charlotte. And just like we had a phenomenal race here tonight, Alex Robinson, thank you so very much for being here, along with Chris Ferguson. On behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and, of course, VLR and CFM Esports, we thank you so very much for tuning in here, and we certainly look forward to next Thursday night. Good night.